Imagine this. Your best friend's kid is on your team. A kid you watched grow up. A kid whose dad was the best man at your wedding. A kid whose mom was your wife's college roommate. You've eaten dinner with this family. You've gone on vacation with this family. And then, that kid threatens to destroy your entire life. That's not a movie. That is exactly what happened to the United States national soccer team. And I promise you, by the time this video is over, your jaw is going to be on the floor. Because this story has everything. A 30-year-old secret, a blackmail plot, a friendship shattered overnight, and a sports organization that was one phone call away from total collapse. And here's the question I want you to hold in your mind for the entire video. Who is the real villain in this story? Was it the coach, the player, the parents, or is everyone guilty? Don't answer yet, because right now you don't have nearly enough information. But by the end, you will. Let's go. It's November 2022, Qatar, the FIFA World Cup. For the United States, this tournament meant everything. For years earlier, in 2018, the US had suffered one of the most embarrassing moments in American sports history. They didn't even qualify for the World Cup. Not even close. For a country of 330 million people, it was a national humiliation. But 2022 was different. They were back. The team was young, hungry, and loaded with talent. The American public was desperate for a hero, and they thought they had found one. His name is Gio Reyna, just 19 years old, playing professional soccer in the German Bundesliga, one of the toughest leagues on the planet. The media couldn't stop talking about him. The next great American superstar, a generational talent. Some people were already comparing him to the legends of the game. This was supposed to be his moment. The US walked into Qatar with real belief, real hope, and Gio Reyna was supposed to be their secret weapon. Quick question for you before this video. Did you know who Gio Reyna was? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. The first game, USA versus Wales. Gio Reyna doesn't play, not even for a single minute. Okay, maybe he was being saved for later. Maybe the coaches had a plan. Fine. Second game, USA versus England. Gio Reyna plays 7 minutes. 7. In a full 90-minute game, one of America's biggest stars gets 7 minutes of football. Third game, USA versus Iran. This one actually matters, win or go home. Gio Reyna plays 0 minutes. He doesn't touch the pitch at all. Think about that. 7 total minutes across 3 World Cup games. For a player who was being called the future of American soccer. The internet exploded. Fans were furious. Pundits were confused. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Why is Gio Reyna not playing? Coach Berhalter gave the media a calm, simple answer. Gio is dealing with some injury problems. We're being careful with him. Fine, that makes sense. Injuries happen. But then, Gio Reyna himself spoke to reporters, and he said something that stopped everyone cold. I'm 100% healthy and ready to play. Wait. The coach says he's injured. The player says he's completely fine. Somebody was lying. And that is where this story starts to go from confusing to absolutely insane. Because the truth about why Gio Reyna wasn't playing was so much worse than anyone could have imagined. Here's what was actually happening behind closed doors. Gio Reyna's attitude and effort in training was so bad that the coaching staff spent hours, not minutes, hours, debating whether they should send him home from the World Cup entirely. They were seriously discussing kicking a 19-year-old off the team in the middle of the biggest tournament in the world. Let that sink in for a second. Have you ever seen a player this talented be this close to getting cut from a World Cup squad? Tell me in the comments. In the end, the coaches decided to keep him, but only because Gio went to every single teammate and apologized. He looked grown men in the eyes and said sorry. That's the only reason he stayed. But the damage was done. The team's trust in him was shaken, and Berhalter made the decision. Gio plays limited minutes or he doesn't play at all. The US made it through the group stage. Then came the knockout round, Netherlands versus USA. And in that game, Berhalter finally put Reyna in for the entire second half. It didn't matter. The Netherlands were better. The US was eliminated. The World Cup was over. Most people thought the story ended there. They had no idea it was just getting started. To understand what happens next, I need to take you back, way back, 30 years. Because the coach and the player's father weren't just colleagues. They weren't just teammates. Gregg Berhalter and Claudio Reyna were best friends since childhood. Grew up together, played soccer together, went through everything together. When Gregg Berhalter got married, who did he pick as his best man? Claudio Reyna. And it gets deeper. Gregg's wife, Rosalind, and Claudio's wife, Danielle, they were college roommates. Not just friends, roommates, on a college soccer team together that was one of the greatest in the country's history. These two families went on vacation together. They celebrated holidays together. Their kids, including Gio, grew up as friends. They all believed they were one big extended family. I want you to pause and really think about this. How many people do you have in your life that you've known for 30 years? People you trust completely? Now imagine what's about to happen. This wasn't a professional relationship. This wasn't a boss and an employee's parent. This was family, which is exactly why what happens next is so devastating. A few weeks after the World Cup, Gregg Berhalter gives a private speech to a group of soccer insiders. He talks about the difficulties of the tournament, and he mentions, without using any names, a player on his team who had a terrible attitude and almost got sent home. He thought it was private. He thought no names meant no drama. Within seconds of the speech leaking online, the entire internet identified the unnamed player as Gio Reyna. And Joe's mother, Danielle Reyna, a woman who had known Gregg Berhalter for 30 years, who had stood at his wedding, who had shared family dinners with him, went absolutely nuclear. She picked up the phone. She called the head of US Soccer, and she revealed a secret that had been buried for 31 years. She told him that back when they were all teenagers, back in 1991, Gregg Berhalter had gotten into a fight with his girlfriend, the woman who is now his wife, and he kicked her. It was a dark moment from their past. Everyone involved knew about it. Everyone had agreed to keep it quiet. For 3 decades, that secret stayed buried. Until now. Here is a question I genuinely want you to answer. Do you think a 31-year-old secret should be able to destroy someone's career in the present? Comment below. This is a real debate. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Joe's father, Claudio, Gregg's own best man at his wedding, began sending threatening text messages to US soccer officials. The messages claimed he had even more secrets that could completely destroy Berhalter's life and career. The message was clear: back off our son, or we burn everything down. Gregg Berhalter now realized what was happening. His oldest friends in the world, the people he loved like family, were trying to blackmail him. And he had a choice to make. Stay quiet, hope it goes away, and lose everything anyway, or get ahead of it. He chose to get ahead of it. Berhalter published a public statement, put his name on it, sent it out to the entire world, and revealed the 31-year-old secret himself. He admitted that yes, he had done a terrible thing as a teenager. He said he deeply regrets it. He said the incident was addressed privately and that both he and his wife had worked through it together. And then he said something that shocked everyone. Someone is now using this old secret as a weapon to get me fired. The secret was out. His contract was expired. US Soccer looked like a complete disaster. And the story still wasn't over. US Soccer did the only thing they could do. They hired an independent law firm to investigate everything. Every allegation, every text message, every complaint, all of it. The findings came out in 2 parts. Part 1, Berhalter. The law firm examined the 1991 kicking incident in detail. Their conclusion? It was serious. It was wrong. But Berhalter had acknowledged it. His wife had forgiven him, and it appeared to be a one-time event with no pattern of behavior. The verdict? He could still coach the national team. Do you agree with that finding? Was that the right call? Let me know. Genuinely want your opinion. Part 2, the Reyna family. This is where things got truly shocking. The investigators discovered that Gio Reyna had been complaining to U.S. soccer officials for years, not just about the 2022 World Cup. For years, about everything. He complained about his son's flight arrangements for a youth tournament. He complained about a referee's decision at a youth game, not even a professional match, a game for kids. And the official responsible for handling parent complaints said something remarkable. In all my years in this role, I have never seen a parent behave this way before. The report made it clear. This wasn't a parent fighting for their child. This was a systematic, ongoing effort to control and manipulate the national team from the inside. The conclusion of the investigation? The Reyna family had attempted to get Berhalter fired. The fallout was massive. Gio Reyna, the man who had built a legendary career in American soccer, who had worn the U.S. jersey with pride for decades, resigned from his job, just walked away. Another senior executive at U.S. Soccer also left. The organization was in shambles. The drama had consumed everything. And then, in the most jaw-dropping twist of the entire story, U.S. Soccer gave Gregg Berhalter his job back. New contract, new mandate, lead the United States to the 2026 World Cup, which will be played on home soil, the biggest stage American soccer has ever seen. After all of that, after the blackmail, after the investigation, after the public humiliation, they brought him back. Seriously, would you have brought him back? After all of that? Comment right now. But here's the part that nobody talks about. Berhalter came back, and then U.S. Soccer fired him again, after a disappointing performance at the 2024 Copa America. Just like that, gone. Gio Reyna returned to the national team. He and Berhalter both said they had moved on, that everything was fine. But has it really moved on? Can you really shake hands and smile after your mother tried to end someone's career? After your father sent blackmail threats? After a 30-year friendship was publicly incinerated? The 2026 World Cup is coming to America. The whole world will be watching. And U.S. Soccer, the same organization that was brought to its knees by this scandal, will be hosting it. Here's the question that keeps me up at night. When the cameras turn on in 2026, and the U.S. team walks out in front of their home crowd, will they be ready? Or will the ghosts of this scandal still be there? A friendship of 30 years, destroyed. A dark secret, weaponized. A national team, nearly broken. And a World Cup on home soil where everything has to be perfect. This is one of the most insane scandals in the history of sports. And I need to know, who do you think was the villain? The coach who benched a star player and gave a public speech? The parents who went nuclear over a soccer game? Or the player who made all of this possible with his attitude in practice? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if the story blew your mind the way it blew mine, hit subscribe. Because there are more stories like this. Stories where sports, family, secrets, and power all collide. And you are not going to want to miss the next one. I'll see you there.